7 creative side hustles students can start in 2026. Before you scroll away, let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever felt that quiet fear late at night that time is moving, money is tight, and somehow everyone else seems ahead? That feeling that if you don't start now, one day you'll look back and regret the years you lost. This video is for that moment, for that fear, for that future you're worried about. I want to talk to you like a real person, not like a motivational poster, because money stress is not loud most of the time. It's silent. It sits in your chest when you see rising prices, when you think about your parents getting older, when you imagine yourself still struggling years from now. Many students think finance and investing are things you'll figure out later, after the job, after stability, after life calms down. But life doesn't calm down. Expenses rise, responsibilities grow, and time never waits. Being a student today is not easy. You're expected to study, support your family emotionally, sometimes financially, and still plan for a future that feels uncertain. You may not have a salary. You may feel embarrassed about small income. You may think investing only for people with extra money. But the truth is, the habit of earning and investing early is not about how much you make, it's about who you become. Side hustles are not about working yourself to exhaustion. They are about dignity, about telling yourself, I care enough about my future to start small. When you earn even a little money with your own skills, something changes inside you. You stop feeling helpless. You stop waiting. You start thinking long term. The first thing I want you to understand is this: your biggest enemy, not lack of money, it's delay. Every year you wait, you trade future peace for temporary comfort. And comfort is dangerous. Comfort whispers, you have time. Regret shouts later, you wasted it. When we talk about side hustles for students, we are not chasing trends. We are building foundations, skills that grow quietly, income that teaches discipline, confidence that comes from self-respect. Imagine being 35, not rich, but stable, bills paid, emergency savings ready, parents not depending on loans. That life is not built by luck. It's built by small decisions made early. Think about the pressure you already feel. Tuition, transport, food, family expectations. Now imagine adding future pressure. Rent, medical bills, children, aging parents. If money is already stressful now, what happens later if nothing changes? This is why starting early matters. Not with big dreams, but with small systems. One side hustle can teach you patience. Another can teach you consistency. Another can teach you how money actually flows in the real world. And once money comes in, even a little, you learn another powerful lesson: how to respect it, how not to waste it, how to invest it slowly, calmly, without fear. Investing is not gambling. It is delayed gratification. It is saying no to small pleasures so future you can breathe. And that mindset is easier to build when you start as a student, when mistakes are cheaper and time is on your side. You don't need to know everything today. You just need to start walking. One skill, one small income stream, one habit of saving. That's it. And as we move forward, I'll show you realistic, creative side hustles that students can actually start, not fantasies, not hype, but real paths that fit into real lives. Because your future doesn't need miracles. It needs respect. And respect begins with one small step taken seriously. When people hear the word side hustle, they imagine something flashy or exhausting. But real side hustles, the ones that quietly change lives, are simple. They fit into your routine. They don't demand perfection. They only demand consistency. And consistency, something ordinary people can do. As a student, your most valuable assets are not money or connections. They are time, curiosity, and the ability to learn without fear. You may not realize it now, but this phase of life is forgiving. If you fail, you recover. If you earn little, it's still meaningful. Later in life, mistakes cost more. That's why starting now matters so much. Let's talk honestly about income. Many students rely fully on family support, and that can feel heavy. Even if no one pressures you, you pressure yourself. You see sacrifices being made for you. You feel guilt spending money. A side hustle, even a small one, can lift that emotional weight. It gives you a sense of contribution, a sense of control. That alone is priceless. The most powerful side hustles are skill-based. Skills don't disappear. They compound. When you learn something useful and apply it repeatedly, your value grows quietly. You may start earning very little. That's normal. What matters is that your earning potential grows faster than your expenses. That's the real secret of financial stability. One student might start helping others understand a subject they already know well. Another might learn a simple digital skill and practice it daily. Another might help small businesses online, solving boring but necessary problems. None of this is glamorous, but none of it is wasted either. Each hour builds competence. Each small payment builds confidence. Here's something no one tells you. Earning your first money feels emotional. Not exciting emotional, because it proves something to you. It proves you are not stuck. It proves your future is not random. It proves effort still works. Now let's talk about what happens next. Once money starts coming in, even small amounts, you face a choice. Spend it quickly, or pause and think. This is where investing begins, not in markets, but in mindset. Investing is not an app. It's a decision to value tomorrow. Many people wait to invest because they think their income is too small. But the habit of investing is more important than the amount. Someone who learns to invest a small amount regularly develops discipline. Someone who waits for big money often never starts. Imagine two people. One earns more but spends everything. Another earns less but saves and invests a small portion consistently. Years later, the second person sleeps better. Not because they are rich, but because they are prepared. Preparation creates peace. As a student, you have something rare, time to let patience work for you. Compounding rewards those who start early and stay calm. You don't need fast returns. You need steady progress. Slow growth that survives stress, mistakes, and market noise. There will be moments when you feel behind, when others seem to move faster, when you question whether your small efforts matter. They do. Quiet effort always matters. The future doesn't belong to the loud. It belongs to the consistent. Side hustles are not about escaping studies or chasing money blindly. They're about learning responsibility early, about understanding effort, reward, and delay. These lessons protect you later, when life becomes heavier and choices become harder. If you build the habit of earning and investing now, future challenges won't crush you. They will test you, but you'll be ready. And readiness is what most people lack, not intelligence or luck. You don't need to rush. You don't need to compare. You only need to keep moving, even slowly, because every small step you take today reduces the fear you'll feel tomorrow. This journey is not dramatic. It's quiet. But one day, you'll look back and realize that the calm you feel came from decisions you made early, when no one was watching, and nothing seemed urgent except your future. There is a moment that comes to many people later in life. It's not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It arrives quietly, often after a long day, when the house is silent and responsibilities feel heavier than usual. In that moment, they realize they waited too long, not to become rich, but to become prepared. That moment is painful, not because of money itself, but because of lost time. As a student, you are standing far away from that moment. That's a gift, but it's also a responsibility, because what you do now decides whether that future moment is calm or full of regret. Most people don't fail financially because they made terrible decisions. They fail because they made no decisions. They drifted. They postponed. They assumed things would somehow work out. And then life happened: medical bills, family needs, job pressure, rising costs, and suddenly there was no space left to think long term. Side hustles and investing are not about escaping reality. They are about preparing for it. When you build a small income stream while studying, you are training your mind to think beyond the month you're living in. You are telling yourself, I don't want future me to struggle the way I'm struggling now. There is something deeply respectful about that. It's self-respect. The money you earn as a student might seem insignificant compared to future salaries, but the mindset you build is priceless. You learn that money requires effort. That effort requires discipline. And discipline creates freedom not instantly, but eventually. Many people fear investing because they think it's risky. But the biggest risk is not investing at all. Inflation quietly eats savings. Time quietly disappears. And fear quietly keeps people stuck. When you start small, you remove fear. You learn slowly. You make small mistakes that don't destroy you. And you grow stronger because of them. Think about your parents or elders. Many of them worked hard, honestly, for decades. Yet many still worry about money. Not because they were careless, but because they were never taught to invest early. That cycle doesn't have to continue. You are allowed to do better, not out of greed, but out of responsibility. Responsibility doesn't mean pressure. It means awareness. It means understanding that every year you delay is a year you can never get back. Money can be earned again. Time cannot. There will be days when you feel tired, when balancing studies, work, and life feels overwhelming. On those days, remember why you started. Not for luxury, not for status, but for peace, for options, for the ability to say no to things that drain you later in life. A small side hustle today might one day pay for an emergency without panic. A small investment today might one day support your family when you're needed most. These outcomes don't happen suddenly. They grow slowly, invisibly, until one day you realize you're no longer afraid. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You just need to care enough to begin. Care enough to take responsibility for your future before life forces you to. This journey is quiet. It won't impress everyone. But one day, when stress doesn't control you, when choices don't scare you, when money is a tool instead of a fear, you'll understand that starting early was the kindest thing you ever did for yourself. And that understanding will be worth more than any shortcut you never took. Before we end this journey, I want you to pause for a moment, not to feel motivated, but to feel honest with yourself. Think about your life 5, 10, 20 years from now. Not the perfect version, the realistic one. Think about waking up with responsibilities waiting for you. Think about people depending on you. Think about your energy not being the same as it is today. In that future, money will not be about luxury. It will be about relief, about dignity, about having choices instead of excuses. Most people don't want to be rich. They want to feel safe. They want to sleep without anxiety. They want to help their family without fear. They want to grow older without constantly worrying about bills. That peace doesn't come from sudden success. It comes from quiet preparation. What you're doing right now, watching, learning, thinking, is already a sign that you care. And caring is the beginning of change. But caring alone is not enough. Action is what transforms concern into confidence. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to overwhelm yourself with plans. You only need to choose one small step and take it seriously. One side hustle you can manage. One habit of saving, even if it feels small. One decision to respect your future enough to stop delaying it. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to overwhelm yourself with plans. You only need to choose one small step and take it seriously. One side hustle you can manage. One habit of saving, even if it feels small. One decision to respect your future enough to stop delaying it. There will always be reasons to wait. Exams, stress, lack of money, lack of clarity. But there will never be a perfect time. The perfect time is an illusion that keeps people comfortable and stuck. The real time is now messy, imperfect, and powerful. Remember this: the future version of you is watching, quietly, hoping you don't give up, hoping you don't ignore the warning signs, hoping you choose discipline over comfort, patience over impulse, responsibility over fear. Every small step you take today is a message to that future self, a message that says, I didn't abandon you. And one day, when life feels heavy and challenges come as they always do, you'll be grateful you listened. This path is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming a stronger version of who you already are. Someone who plans, someone who prepares, someone who understands that money is not the goal, peace is. So take your first smart step. Not tomorrow, not someday. Today. Small, calm, consistent. Let time work for you instead of against you. Because one day, you'll look back at this moment not with regret, but with quiet pride. And that feeling will be worth everything you started early.